Grand Rising. I'd like to start this video off in dedication to my ancestors. Not just my recent lost family members that I know of, but even the ones I didn't meet. Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the Honorable Muhammad, Farrakhan. The list goes on and on. Bobby Hemming, Blair, Dick Gregory, Dr. Sebi. The list goes on and on. To my pre-Lemurian ancestry, to my Atlantean ancestry, I thank you. I thank you for your courage. I thank you for your bravery. I thank you for your consciousness. I thank you for your sacrifice. I thank you for your strength. Without your basis, I would never be able to come up with this intellect. I wouldn't be the person I am today. Now it's time for me to give back some information. I'll show you. I also like to give credit where it's due. Rashad Jamal, free him. Pharaoh, free him. Nature Boy, free him. I shouldn't even have to say why. You know why. They was giving information that you would not have come about if it wasn't for them. You would have never understood your inner self if it wasn't for them. I appreciate y'all too. The people who see, we know what's going on. And we know they can lock you up physically, but they can never lock you up mentally. Never. Stay conscious, stay free. I say that the purpose of this video is to inform, is to enlighten, is to get more people to understand exactly what's going on around them. Initially, it's about frequency, but we're going to cover a lot. I just need you to be able to understand it in a way that the opposing side don't give you. To give you a little background on frequency, on vibration, on resonance. Because a lot of us, we're not aware of that. We weren't taught that in school. So I'm gonna try to simplify to my best of knowledge to get you a little bit more conscious. So let's jump right into it. Frequency. Your frequency is your vibration, your harmonics, your resonance. It's a lot of different titles, but the baseline is the same thing. It is your personal energy. To make that more understandable, everything around you vibrates at its own frequency, which is why you can see it, which is why you can feel it, which is why you can touch it. And obviously it's made up of the same energy that you are, if you can come in contact with it. I'm gonna let that sit. Without getting into a rabbit hole, even things you can't see vibrates and resonate around you, which is why we get into this video. Frequencies. When you begin to elevate or ascend or awaken, again, many titles, same baseline. When you begin to elevate your frequency, your harmonics, your energy, a lot of things that you once resonated with no longer can stay around you, which means people, things, places, emotions. It goes even deeper, but I'm trying to make this video understandable and not lose you before I even get started. In a more esoteric view, I'm gonna break it down in chakras at first. When anybody starts off in their journey of life, They're in their root. They're in their base. They're in survival mode. Fear is not common to carbonated beings. That's a new emotion for us. But that's exactly where it starts. The root, the base. If you're stuck in your root chakra, you're stuck in the matrix, so to speak. Let's call it 3D as well. Sum it up in everything. Let's call this three-dimensional as well. Your root chakra, your base, your lower vibrations. Once you start to elevate your frequency or your vibration, you ascend into your sacral chakra. A lot of people don't understand the difference between ascending into the fourth dimension from the third dimension, but I'm going to give you a way to understand it, understand it, because we don't understand anything. We're not under anything, and we're definitely not standing under anybody. With that being said, understand this. When you elevate to your sacral chakra, you begin wondering about this matrix that we live in. You're breaking free from the matrix. You're awakening, so to speak. And your sacral chakra is very important. All chakras are important, but the sacral gets a lot less attention than it should. Your lineage, your soul, your consciousness, that's where you elevate to the fourth dimension. Of course, if you go to the heart chakra, the solar plexus, it's a different level, it's a different dimension, it's a different layer, it's a different vibration. But to summarize this where it doesn't get too overwhelming, a lot of times when you elevate your frequency, the people around you, friends, family, strangers, it's like you become invisible to the people you once allowed to keep you at baseline. It happens unconsciously. Like one day you could be hanging with your homie and you begin ascending. They see this now. They see this. They see this. They feel it. Especially carbonated beings. But the thing is, they don't want to elevate yet, so you cannot force them. A lot of us try to force people to see what we see, to feel how we feel. It's not their time yet. Everybody has a time for this stuff. And time is not a real concept either. But again, I'm not trying to break your belief in anything right now. I'm trying to get you to understand what these words, terminologies, everything means all in one, without breaking your mind faculty. Back to the sacral. Your sacral chakra is your consciousness awakening, your kundalini beginning to rise up your spine. I can go even deeper, but we ain't getting on that. The point of this video is learning that it's not bad when you begin to elevate, but everybody around you is still on this plateau. It's not meant for everybody to be at the same level of consciousness, ascension, vibrations, harmony, any of that. It's balance, the law of polarity. I get into the law, the universal laws, not the 10 commandments, because that's man-made. The universal laws is the most important. The law of attraction, the law of correspondence, the law of vibration, the law of polarity. As above, so below. As within, so it is out. Balance, 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 balance. I would also like to state that I am not racist in any form or fashion. I actually feel if everybody come together and play their proper positions, Gaia, Kai, Tiamat, Earth will begin to ascend into the proper dimension that it's supposed to be in, and we will never have to fast, starve, die, resonate on this baseline frequency of fear, survival, separation. It goes on and on and on. I'm not racist at all. I do not believe all people are equal, though. In a sense, they are, because they are just as essential as we are. But the way they think, the way they move, the way they feel is nowhere near how we feel and think and see and breathe and evolve. It's apparent in the history. His story. The only way you know your history is by looking at it from the perspective of the person who's giving it to you. If you want to know your history, why would you go anywhere else but you? Why the fuck is you listening to some Kundalini energy? Kunta Kinte. Let me break down Kunta Kinte at first and Kundalini at the same time so we won't waste any time. Kundalini energy. Kunta Kinte. Kunda, Ket or Kemet, Egyptian, Carbon, Te, lineage. This is where the term Kundalini actually come from. Carbon, melanin, melanated, whatever you want to call it. Black matter. We ain't gonna go too deep. But I want you to understand how it's been in front of your face this whole time. They gotta put it in front of your face. That was the contract that they had to give us. We was a loving, abundant, prosperous, eternal being. Light beings. Before we became docile. If you take a wolf out of his habitat, it becomes a dog. If you take a lion out of his habitat for generations on generations on generations on generations, it becomes a kitty, a pussy. We were never that. We were never that. We became docile. We became less vibratory. We allowed ourselves to become less essential. It's a whole different story, though. Want a little bit more insight? If you're a little bit further than what I'm teaching right now, go read my books. Go read my books. My books are a blueprint to awakening. From Admiral Byrd, exploration, I put it in picture format so it wouldn't take you too long to understand or understand. I'm using understand so you can understand what I'm saying. You don't know what understand means yet because you are still in the root. For those of you who are higher vibratory right now, this is not for you. My books are a blueprint to awakening. From the cover of my book and the sigil that I place onto it, you will automatically start vibrating on a higher plane or in a different chakra or in a different dimension. Mind you, we just covered what these words mean. No matter where you at on your journey, read my books. I did this to help. I did this to teach. I did this so you would know who you are.